So for those of you who are, coming over from year one, you know a thing or two about me. Probably you know lots of things about me that maybe you don't need to know or want to know or, whatever, because I just psycho word vomit kind of a lot, whatever. But one of the things you definitely know about me is I like pushing the boundaries on soap making. And I also like testing things when I see a bunch of nonsense on the soaping forums that say, well, you can't do something. The second I see that, my first thought is always, well, why not? And I'm gonna just to see what happens. And so today is day 7 and one of those testing days. And I will tell you all about the testing day, what I decided to test, why I decided to test it in just a moment. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 7 of 365 days of soap, year 2. And as I said and have been saying this week, we are structuring the channel a little bit differently. So 3 days a week, we are doing recipes, back to basics, and a day that's either so you want to build a business and or tests, right? And then the other 4 days of the week are our own themed things and like where our passions lie and, cool soap things. Yes, and today we are doing a soap test, specifically a tool test. We are, those multi-divider spout thingies that everyone was losing their mind over a couple months ago, and like for 3 straight days at least, on all of the soap forums, everybody's just going hard on this thing and why you can't use it to make soap. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, I get that they're 3D printed, and so I get that there's the possibility that, the caustic soap batter is going to eat away. But that's actually true of like everything that you soap with. Glass etch, all of the things, but also it's only in the container for what, like 2 minutes. We talk about the things that people use to like as molds for soap, and it's all over the board and has been standard practice, tried and true forever, like milk cartons, like the paper ones. And yeah, so I bought one of them and I decided to play with it because I have yet to see an actual picture of what a pour with this thing would look like. And so I want to play with it in a number of different ways, slabs and within logs and different, whatever, to see what the point of it is anyway. So, I got one. And throughout all of these tests, we will figure out and learn and see, in real time, if things explode, whatever the peoples are afraid of. We'll see if that happens. So, today is the first test of all of that, and let's go check out that one. Oh yeah, we're doing this. It's gonna be wild. So, I talked about it, forever ago in year 1 about how everybody was freaking out over this multi-divider tool thingy, and so I bought one. And it's clearly made out of, it's 3D printed, And we are doing actually a really terrible idea. We are testing this guy here. It's a stupid idea. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's probably for something like this, it's not a good idea to test a scent that you've never played with before. But for the rest of the month, we are going to be testing a lot of stuff from Sierra Candles because I've never really worked with them. And I ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and they also sent me a couple that I did not order. And I didn't even bother looking up soaping notes. So that wood sage and sea salt, that sounds delightful, doesn't it? So we are going to go ahead and try that in this multi-tool divider thing. Now, this is all kind of going along with like the new format or whatever. So every like 7th or 8th day or whatever, we are going to be, that's the kaolin going in there, and some of it wasn't fully dissolved. So that's fun. But yeah, every 7th or 8th day, or however that works out. Today's day 7, so day 14. Yep, all the things. We are going to be doing tests, or so you want to build a soap business type stuff, or just a business in general. Really, I think we're going to have a lot of kind of if you guys are interested in it, like let me know. We'll have some guest subject matter experts in various fields of marketing and website development and all of the jazz to come and chit chat about things, but then also we'll just do soap tests or business building things, because my audience is very varied. There are a lot of different types of people who watch. So if you guys are interested in that, that's what we're going to be doing every 7th day, or just doing random tests of random things like new tools or new pours, or like new weird things or controversial weird things. I like the controversial weird things the most. I guess that's what really drew me to this one, because I'm not actually sure. I've never actually seen what the end result of using this little divider thing is. All I saw on the forums and everything was everyone saying, oh no, you cannot do that. You can never ever pour soap out of these because wrong plastic and eats it and blah blah blah. And my brain just starts going, wait, what are we talking about here? People make soap in like milk cartons, right? Milk jugs and milk cartons, in Pringles cans. Some people line them, other people do not for the Pringles cans. We have those little pull-through tooly things that are also made with a 3D printer that sit in the soap batter for arguably longer than what soap is going to sit in this utensil or in this little pour spout thingy before it gets poured out. What else? What else just completely does not make sense about 50 things about why that did not make sense to me just came in my head while everybody was freaking out about this little divider thing. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy it. And this was not this particular company. They did not market this for soap at all. It's for like acrylic paint or whatever. And there are some weird specifications, which I actually forgot to show you. So I'll show you for the next time, for the next one that I do with all of this. But yeah, I just bought it and decided to play with it, and let's see what happens. Let's see if the soap batter eats through it or does crazy things or explodes at the bottom or whatever. We're probably going to use it a whole bunch to see if that happens, if it doesn't happen on the first time. And it's not going to happen on the first time. So let's go check out this pour. Okay, and on to the pour of this. And unfortunately, this batter had to sit for around 10 minutes while I was helping a customer. I just, measured everything out and colored everything. And so but it's still reasonably fluid there. It's kind of okay. So that's great. And we're gonna pour this in. And my thinking was this particular one that I got, this little divider spout pourer thing, I don't know what they're called. It holds about 30 ounces. And so I thought that we could just have a base and a slab pour. Again, I'm just playing around. I really don't know what to do with this, but I'm thinking in a slab pour, it might be a way to do like a kiss pour, right? From the Amy Warden Soap Challenge that we did before. It might be a fun way to do a kiss pour only using one container. And so I decided, you know, to do that with this, with the slab, and put whatever was not going to fit into the container itself into the mold and just have like a blue base. Also, I was hoping that the batter would be a little bit thinner, so like the blue would also push out after I got all of this colored and scented and in the container and then to pour. But this is when things started getting pretty complicated, because the soap is clearly moving just fine, right? It's fine, it's still reasonably fluid, it's all good. What I'm not paying attention to right now is the actual soap that's in the mold, and it has already hardened up pretty significantly. Not paying attention to it, I learned this later as I pour, but here's where the problems really started to happen, and this is the scent that's doing some not great things. See how thick that is? We've got some weird separation going on there. Well, more ricing than anything. It's thick. You see how, oh God, it's clumpy, it's thick. This is not great. So this particular scent does rice and accelerate. So that's fun. Because my thinking with this whole thing is, A, it's going to be hard to get everything in if the batter is thick, right? 2, it's going to be hard to pour it out. Oh God, look, that's chunky. That's chunky. That is so, oh God, look how chunky that is. Oh no. Yeah, so, shit, that is chunky. There is separation going on. This is not okay. Oh, that's so chunky. Oh God. Yeah, so my thinking is, A, it's going to be easiest to, you know, actually fill this divider thingy with fluid batter, but also the best way for the batter to work and to have these 6 different colors doing its thing. Oh God. Look how thick that got. Is to have fluid batter that's pouring out of it as well. And so holy shit. That's, well, this definitely sealed the deal that I'm absolutely doing it again, right? Because, God, oh my God, that's a lot. And, oh no, oh God, look at, oh no, this is a disaster. Yep. We're going to go with it, though. We're going to go with it. We're going to see what happens. That's a thing. I don't, whew. Okay, yeah. So, you know, I mean, hey, this is a learning experience, guys. You get to see what happens with weird, thick, chunky batter in these things. So maybe we'll have 2 disasters. Weird, thick, chunky batter. And also, you know, maybe the whole thing will explode. Now, this is actually interesting the way it's pouring out. That totally looks like a kiss pour. Now, unfortunately, because the batter is so thick, I thought it would actually be better to try to take it at different spaces in the mold to get it in, because it's not going to super smooth out across the blue. But you see how thick the blue got? It only took me a couple minutes to actually mix all those up. So yeah, and that's where the chunky bits go, because, you know, things settle, heavy things to the bottom. That looks so gross. Like, that looks disgusting. That's nasty. But the part in the middle, actually, there's potential with this tool, right? With this pour spout. There's some definite, you know, we've got seepage and problems there with the chunky bits. But yeah, let's put this in the oven and see what we have going on at the cut. Okay, and on to the cut. Now, this has been set up and C-popped and gelled overnight, and we definitely have some scent seepage going on there for sure, especially in the areas that were, you know, most ricing and doing weird things, like sort of in the bottom of the pour spout. So, you know, that's unfortunate. And also, because the soap got so thick so fast, I wasn't able to get all of it into the actual mold. And so as a result, all of these bars are incredibly thin. Like that's not going to be the weight that I usually sell my soaps at, you know, whatever. So this is kind of just a fail across the board. The scent itself separating and seeping may not be the worst thing in the world. I will test these things after, I don't know, 3 weeks or so and see what's going on with them, see how I feel about it all, whatever, and, you know, maybe put them in scratch and dent. But I don't know. For the pour itself, for the divider tool, the part that did work, the more fluid batter that was there, you can see those first 2 cuts up in the upper left there. It looks cool. It looks like a kiss pour, right? And so to that, if you can get a kiss pour with 1 tool instead of 2, without having to do the little thingy thing into the 2 separate containers and then, you know, pour them simultaneously, you know, whatever, then I think that's cool. I think for that reason it could definitely work. So I am intrigued. You know, I'm going to try it again. You know, it's definitely going to be a thing. But yeah, no, I mean, an accelerating scent, that's, I am starting to see, well, first blush with this whole, you know, multi-pour spout divider thingy, definitely you're going to need to work with very fluid batter. The actual cleaning up of that tool after this pour was not fun. It was not fun at all. I ended up scraping out everything I could with a spatula from each of the different compartments and put them just in a regular, and that's what it looks like. That's disgusting. It looks like Fruity Pebbles that's been sitting in the milk like for 12 hours. That's so gross. Yeah, so that's that. That's you know, take 1 on the divider test. Yeah, so not great. I do this all the time. You guys watched me do this in all of the Amy Warden's revisits because we were testing new scents that we had never played with before while also doing, you know, specific technique things or whatever. And sometimes it went great, but other times it did not because of what the fragrance does. And so this is one of those times where yeah, that fragrance accelerated like a mother. Now, I'm not actually passing judgment on Sierra candles for this at all because this was actually a freebie that they sent me within the package because I'd left a little note and told them I'm going to be reviewing, you know, your scents for my YouTube thing, and you know, they sent a note back and said, oh, and also I'll include these. And so I didn't order this one, I didn't pick this one, and I didn't look up what this one does. So I'm not marking that against Sierra. The scent itself is really, really delightful, but yeah, it had some problems in the soaping. But you can see within the actual, with the pour spouty thing, it has potential to be kind of cool. It looks like a kiss pour, right? Just using 1 tool. There's definitely potential for that. So yeah, I'm totally going to try that again in a slab, but then also I think we're going to do logs and we're going to do all kinds of stuff with this one and see, you know, the techniques that can be done with this. So there's, you know, test 1, and it was a failed batch of soap. It didn't look the way that I wanted it to look, but you know, I still had fun and I still show you those things too. It's part of the point of my channel, I think, is to make sure that people, whether you're making soap or not, just people in general, don't have to live up to this really highly curated, perfect life that we're shown, you know, on the YouTubes or on the Pinterest boards or on the, you know, whatever. Mistakes and failures are necessary and normal as a human. And so, you know, you get to see that too. All of the things. So there's mine. Yes. I hope you guys had a good time today. If you did and you're not subscribed, hey, you should do that thing. Click that button. Costs you nothing. Helps me out in a big way. Thanks. For those of you who have clicked that button, hey, thanks for helping me out in a big way. I appreciate you. I'm out of here for today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.